How are you? This is Andrew Lowsutea president. Wow, it looks so good to actually see all of you again in our webinar. Matter of fact, today's webinar will be very useful for you as a pre-diabetic or diabetic. Reason is that I have a lot of letter come from, pre-diabetic and diabetic clients who keep asking, hey, sometime when I go up to buy food, I don't know where the sugar come from. And I say, yeah, there's a lot of things really hidden in product that is really hitting a lot of sugar, which you don't know. One of the good example is, is ketchup. American like ketchup, like myself. But then if you put a lot of ketchup, that's mean you add a lot more sugar, which is not good for you. Now remember, we try to control ourselves approximately about 150 grams to no more than 200 grams of, carbs a day. So that sugar becomes very important to identify every single place. When you add it up, you should be around 150 or so. You should not continue to go up to like more than 200. So that's why you got to really start thinking what is really behind the sugar. So we start off our webinar today with that. And I think with that, you will get a lot more understanding what it is and will be very helpful for you. And I tell you, we have so many people actually enjoy our webinar. And I think it's really good because they start seeing that, wow, the things that I learned is very helpful. I have somehow a lot of clients from our webinar said they would really appreciate the last week webinar talk about, okay, how you get dementia and also type 3 diabetic, Alzheimer's disease, and they were so amazed. They said, wow, I didn't realize if I don't take care of myself, eventually I might be like that. And also, really the first step is actually get yourself prevention. So with that in mind, that's why we really want to give you all the tools one by one. So now one of the things that you can learn how to really lower that sugar intake by looking just the label and controlling the amount of sugar being in. So that's our webinar today. And today, thank you very much for many people that come all over the world to join our webinar. So today what we'll talk about is, wow, where the hidden sugar, where the sauce, where it come from, and how to really identify this hidden sugar, where's the sauce, and learn how to look at really food label more effectively. The key is looking the gram of sugars in each of the label and discover what other healthier choice I can use. Like, for example, instead of processed white sugar, can we do like monk fruits sugar, which is sweeter and naturally it does spike your sugar. Those are kind of things that you can learn. And also how this alternative can help you better manage, is more important, your pre-diabetic and diabetic disease because of the sugar, and how Lowsutea can help. Now that is even more important because you really drink Lowsutea, you will start seeing your blood sugar coming down, your cholesterol coming down, and at the end of the day, your blood pressure come down. So that will be today's webinar. Now, I saw a lot of people here today. I don't know, and they are more come from all the world. So I take about just 5 minutes to catch up so everybody understand what the 4 stage go through diabetic. And basically, the first stage is when your LDL cholesterol goes up, it damages the B cell coming from the pancreas. The B cells will take you the sugar into the cells. When more B cells damage and more B cell coming out, it's still not going to take sugar in the cell. Your sugar starts building up in your bloodstream. And your bloodstream sugar goes up, plus your LDL cholesterol mixed together, your blood becomes thick. And become thick, it's going to form plaque. And very quickly, you go move to stage 2, which is your blood pressure start going up because they go form plaques everywhere, the entire body. So your vessel become more and more crowded here, so less blood going through, your blood pressure start going up. So net result of that, this plaque, once it forms, it will continue to stay there forever and ever. That's why we don't want you to be that. That's why I try to catch people out. Really just your LDL cholesterol go up, blood sugar go up. We'll catch you already drinking Lowsutea, lower back the blood sugar. So you don't get that situation. But if you don't do anything, you know what? Very quickly you move to stage 3, which is mean that your blood sugar will continue to go up to a certain point. You become a pre-diabetic. Now, how do you measure that? Every doctor do the same. They measure your HbA1c because everybody have a hemoglobin, and they measure the percentage of sugar attached to this hemoglobin, which is called the HbA1c. If you're 5.7 and below, you're a normal person. You're 5.7 above to 6.4, I'm sorry, you are now pre-diabetic. And the doctor say, hey, sir, you are diabetic now. You need to take care of yourself. Don't take too much sweet. Do some exercise. Unfortunately, majority of people do not know now. However, this is the stage you really gotta drink Lowsutea. If you drink Lowsutea, at least you lower your blood sugar, cholesterol, and blood pressure. So you never go, or you will potentially not really moving forward to the diabetic stage. But if you don't do anything, 2 to 3 years, you will change to diabetic. Once you go over 6.4, you consider diabetic, and forever, once you get into the book and you say diabetic, insurance goes up, everything goes up, and the chances of you will get all kind of complication will be there. So we want to catch you before you even go to pre-diabetic. You are able to control, and people say, hey, I'm young. Don't just get the age fool you, because you don't have to be just old age now. If you're 30, 20-something, 30, going to 40, you can have a chance of you already changing that. Well, why drink Lowsutea though? Lowsutea has two things. One, we have a guava bits, which delay the absorption of blood sugar into the bloodstream. Second, it has bitter melon. What bitter melon does is increase the insulin sensitivity and took the sugar into the cells. And then excess sugar, very important, they actually dumped it off in urine, dump off the cholesterol out urine, and dump salt out urine. So when salt go down, your blood pressure go down. So lower your 3 high. So your sugar, cholesterol, and blood pressure will be lower. Now, if you can lower your 3 high, the chances you become a pre-diabetic and also diabetes will be much substantial decrease. And you're much healthier. Plus, it helps you to change lifestyle, because we also will teach you not only just the drinking the tea, but also teach you how to do a low-carb diet, low-fat diet. We'll also ask you to do exercise, 8 to 10,000 steps a day, and also help you to do weight control from your BMI from 30 to lower to 23. We'll give you a free doctor webinar, healthcare webinar every week. Free now. This is no charge for you to listen to all the concept of what is a diabetic, what is a pre-diabetic, why 3 high is bad for you. And also we'll teach you how to measure your blood, track it. The key is tracking it, understand where you're at. So we saw many of our patients of A1C 10 plus and above drop down to 5.7. Man, I think that's so wonderful. I felt that we did our job. That's what we're trying to do, to help you to continue to learn the lifestyle change, diet change, and drink Lowsutea. Continue to keep yourself healthy so you don't get any kind of diabetic complication, and convert yourself from pre-diabetic diabetes, or not even convert yourself to pre-diabetic, okay? So that is our objective. Now, let's talk about where the hidden sugar now. Now, a lot of people say, hey, I really don't know where it comes from. Now, why that is important? Because when you eat product which contain a lot of sugar, you raise what? Your blood glucose, which is your blood sugar going up. If you continue going for a long time, do more and more sugar, you're going to get insulin resistance. That means that your insulin is no longer work, take sugar in the back and to the cell. If you become a pre-diabetic or diabetic, more and more that is going to happen, and then you're going to make it harder because your insulin doesn't work anymore, and then your blood sugar continue goes up. And then most likely, if you have that, you become a diabetic, you have all kind of complications, diabetic complications, which we know it's going to hurt your memory, you have conscious issue, you have to have heart issue, your eye issue, you cannot see blur, and then you're going to have kidney damage, you're going to have nerve damage, you cut your foot, you have gestation diabetes, all kind of problems that will occur, and we don't want you to be in that boat. So we want to make sure you learn about this to continuously lower your blood sugar. You know what? If you lower your blood sugar alone itself, you already done a big part of your health to be better health. So just keep that in mind. So that's why we want to teach you all that, give you an idea. So let's there's some sugar terminology, because a lot of people say, wow, sugar, what is glucose? What is fructose? Now, really, at the end of the day, you got to understand sugar, as long as you have OSE at the back, it's really become a sugar product. So some of the names that you see the label is sucrose, glucose, fructose, high fructose, corn syrup, rice syrup, honey, cane sugar, confection sugar. So all the name, you see it, okay? But nevertheless, there also less noticed name will be like barley malt, dextro, maltose, agave lecta, honey, molasses. So all these common name of sugar, which you need to familiarize, because that will see it in the label, which you need to check. If you have a lot of that, you better find yourself, well, what kind of amount of sugar in there? And then, because that will be part of the ingredient, as I mentioned, as long as you have OSE, that's been back there, as sugar. Now, definitely some of the common source of food sugar is, one is condiment, like for example, ketchup, salad dressing, barbecue sauce. You'll be surprised. Ketchup typically had high level of sugar, usually high fructose or corn syrup, because they have to make it taste good. If you don't make sugar in there, the ketchup becomes so sour that it's not tasty, so you won't use it. So the manufacturer definitely puts sugar in there. So really, 1 tablespoon of ketchup will give you 4 grams of sugar, okay? Typically, 1 to 2 grams of sugar for coffee, for example. That's mean you add it all up, all together. What you try not to do is get all this sugar, get into it, to make sure you don't get the 150 grams, okay, of carbs. So you want to make sure that all that don't get together with so many sugar added up to your daily requirement, okay? Now, barbecue sauce, wow, that's another one. A lot of people thought that there's no sugar. No, it's not true, because they really have sugar in there to make it tastier. You have 16 grams of sugar for every 2 tablespoons serving. So that's a lot of sugar for barbecue sauce. Salad dressing is the same thing. There are a lot of typical salad dressing, although it's a light sugar or fat-free, but they have to compensate some sugar to make it taste good. So the French, Thousand Island, some balsamic vinegar, they contain about 7 grams sugar per 2 tablespoons of serving. So the tip here is you got to look at the label, what kind of amount of sugar to have, so you can use it, make it easier for you to control. That also importantly, instead of using 2 tablespoons, can you make it 1 tablespoon? So net result, you got a 7 grams of salad dressing. Now you make actually 1 tablespoon, you become a little bit less now. You only make like 3.5 grams of sugar. So those are things that you got to start looking at, okay? Now, also, you also have, typically a protein bar. Now, all these protein bar, also you have all kinds of sugar inside. So you have to get some of the protein bar really have very little sugar. So typically, sugar has like sorbitol that make you, there's some digestion issue, but there's some use sorbitol. And also the high fructose corn syrup, which is very common. Which increases sugar content. Now, a lot of times they say, oh, my product is natural sugar. Could be honey, could be agave, or maple syrup, but that still contains a lot of sugar. So you got to understand what's the amount in there. Now, plus, if they have dry food, the sugar is even worse, because dry food is very high in sugar. And also, the tip is this. So you need to look at the label. Is there sugar added? Or you can just to make your own protein bar, so you won't able to use a lot of sugar, and then you can make your own protein bar, which it contains all ingredient goes in. So these are kind of tips that you need to look at to make sure that when you choose the product, you don't take additional sugar. Now, a lot of people say, hey, I ate yogurt every day, but you really, at the end of the day, don't just say, oh, yogurt flavor. So, but a lot of the flavor yogurt, including sugar, fruits, and all that, they add cane sugar, which is high fructose corn syrup. That is lots of sugar. So you have to add. I saw the other day one of the typical fruit yogurt. That's 30 or 40 grams of sugar in there. Wow. That's a very big sugar amount. So low fat and fat-free yogurt usually also need sugar to compensate the taste. If not, it tastes terrible, right? So a lot of people actually don't know. So when you add that on, you need to have that. Now, also fruit at the bottom, the mixture of fruit at the bottom yogurt also could be potential. A lot of sweetened fruits in there, juice, concentrated, mix that. And light yogurt had a typical thing that because low calorie contain artificial sweetener or sugar, alcohol, but there's still sugar in it, but small amount. Sometimes can be large amount too. Now, typically you have to plain sugar is better, like Greek yogurt. Sugar will be good. My plain yogurt, meaning Greek yogurt, and then you put your own fresh fruit in there, or you can add some honey in there. So that will be, at the end of the day, you have no more those artificial fruit sugar in there. So your natural fruit, your own, put in there. So that will be a good way to do it. Now, also, we all drink milk, and we love milk, right? But keep in mind, when you have flavored milk, like chocolate milk, strawberry milk, vanilla flavored milk, wow, man, those are high sugar content. Now, to be honest, I used to love chocolate milk. Who doesn't like chocolate milk? But when you're diabetic, when you see that, you say, wow, every time I drink a chocolate milk, I have 20 grams of sugar added into you. So certainly you don't want to do that, right? So naturally, you need to start looking at that. Maybe I can't do chocolate milk anymore. And also the sweetened plant-based milk, for example, almond milk, soy milk, or oat milk, coconut milk. Now, they do also have, a lot of them have sugar, and then they usually have about 5 to 12 grams. So you certainly have to look at the product, which one has the lower sugar to consume. Is not really just pick and say, wow, this is just, plant-based soy milk or almond milk. It's okay. But you got to look at the sugar. Is it 5 grams? Certainly you take the 5 grams, is better. And certainly lactose-free milk, also the same thing, has a lot of sugar in that. The reason is because in lactose milk, if you take it, and then they can also break it down to different sugar in lactose. And then if you don't add sugar, even though there are no sugar in there, but there will be but they will have to add something in there to make it taste good. So nevertheless, you gotta look at, is it really lactose-free milk that absolutely no sugar, or they add some sugar in there? So everything you have to check whether there's a sugar added. If not, then you are gonna fool yourself. Wow, this is real healthy. Now, certainly, if you have a small amount every time, 3 to 5 grams, sure, you add it up. So when you add up all that item, so your daily milk drink, is it good or it's not good, or adding the yogurt, adding everything add up. So you want to make it as low as possible in your sugar. Now, also, there's a flavored liquid creamer like French vanilla, hazelnut, chamomile, pumpkin spice. Now, all these for your coffee. You might say, wow, it tastes real good. But nevertheless, just the milk itself, the coffee creamer, has about 4 to 6 grams of sugar. It's just 1 tablespoon. So, when you have 2 tablespoons, you're at 12 grams sugar. Everything works up, add up. So also powdered creamers. So certainly powdered creamer has, a lot of times, it's just say, I only have 1 to 2 grams of sugar. But this creamer also sometimes contain more things concentrate to make it sweeter. So you have to look at the amount of sugar in there. Non-dairy creamer like almond, vanilla, hazelnut, coconut, or oat-based creamer also have hidden sugar. Although they're non-dairy, but they are also sweetener, because if not, doesn't taste good. So they usually add to 4 or 5 grams. So keep in mind, coffee creamer usually 4 to 5 grams. Now, if you do it 5 cups of coffee a day, 5 grams, that's 25 grams already. Just the creamer, not even adding other stuff. So imagine that all that are going on. So you got to really understand, make sure that you don't just accidentally to add more and more. Now, so often, also there's also what they call a sugar-free creamer. So don't let the sugar cream creamer fool you. Is okay. Yeah, although they don't have sugar, but they still contain some kind of thing to help you which is maybe not sugar, but they could be also amount of sugar. The syrup contains sweetener. But the problem with artificial sweetener is add you to crave for more because of the fact that the brain hey, I took some sweet now, I like more. So don't get sugar-free, really just fool you, because after you take it, you might crave for more sugar. At the end of the day, you will take more sugar than you needed, okay? So the tips up here is even any kind of sweetener, plant food-based milk, or just plain dairy milk, you want to avoid adding flavor, meaning that it's not going to be adding chocolate milk, for example. Always check the nutrition label, for example, how much sugar content by gram. So you add it up, that is it really a lot of content to really go screw up your whole daily diet. And then you got to use a small amount as much as you can sugar. For example, honey, maple syrup, stevia for the milk or coffee. That will give you the better sugar option. Yes, a lot of people say, I can eat stevia or honey. Yes, definitely that is the potential better, so-called better alternative. So you go for that then rather than just getting artificial sugar like equals or that kind of sugar. So that is not as healthy. Now, certainly you have next one is granola. Now, granola is like all these good stuff to help you to think that you are healthy. But don't forget, a lot of granola has sweetener in there, which have honey, agave, maple syrup, brown sugar. All these are hidden sugar, which you can have added to 12 to 16 grams sugar per serving. And if you have smaller amount, it's better. But on the other hand, you still have a lot of sugar there. Now, the key here is dry fruit is very sugary. So when you have dry raisin, cranberry, banana, concentrated with sugar, and often these are high sugar in content in the granola. So you have to look at all the label, what kind of sugar do you have. Plus, a lot of these sugar have chocolate chip, yogurt coating. All these have sugar contained. So the label will describe what sugar you have, the amount of gram of sugar you have. Now, a lot of time I look at granola. Wow, some of the granola is 30 grams of sugar in there. Oh, but on the other hand, I guess it tastes real good. But the problem is, for you, pre-diabetic diabetes, you can't take that, right? So that's just don't take that. Buy more thing that is more natural with a little bit of sugar. Oatmeal is the same thing. You have a certain oatmeal is easy because the thought that, oh, wow, that a lot of oatmeal was packed with all kind of flavors like apple, maple syrup, apple cinnamon, peach, and cream. Those are usually have 12 to 20 grams of sugar packed in there. Now, so what you can do, on top of that, they even have brown sugar, corn syrup, cane sugar. But don't forget, you are 20 grams of sugar, just eat that thing. So you have to look for that is really a smaller amount favor with sugar pack rather than high level, because sometimes you just so naturally buy it and realize, wow, this is 20 grams. Instant oatmeal usually had labels that lower sugar, but on the hand, there's artificial sugar in there, which is not ideal for you, because when you have artificial sugar, you will basically, after you take it, you will also crave for more sugar. And then when you crave for more sugar, that means you might eat something that you really don't want to, like, for example, cookies, things like that. You want to satisfy yourself. Now, so added sugar, you want to make sure that you want to have natural sugar, organic sugar, like stevia, things like that will help you to at least not to really getting truly high sugar level and spiking of sugar. And so that way, at least you are able to get yourself a little more healthier. Now, certain breakfast cereal can have a lot of sugar. Oh man, I saw a report. If typically you eat every day on a typical commercial big box cereal with Fruit Loops or whatever, you eat about 50 pounds sugar per year. Is that a lot? Yes, that's a lot. So don't let the Frosty Flake, Cocoa Puff, fruity cereal fool you, man. There's a lot of sugar in there. There's about 12 to 15 grams of sugar per serving. But some of them, I even saw 40 grams of sugar per serving. So, wow, so really at the end of the day, you have to ask which cereal have little sugar. Now, certainly healthier or whole grain cereal, for example, the honey nuts flavor cereal, they also hidden sugar in there, but you got to look at the label. They could be 8 to 12 grams. Certainly, if I can do 5 grams, would be better. Serving with like honey, but you don't forget with that, you got to also think about they have dry fruit in there, they're adding more sugar in there. And also the added fiber cereal, which have also high fiber, certainly have vitamin, but can be have high sugar. The reason without sugar tastes terrible. So you really need to look at the sugar in there plus in the box, so you can choose the one that with little sugar, but certainly high fiber is good for you. So you need to want to do that, okay? So really at the end of the day, the tips is check the sugar content in the box, on the box. If anything with OSE behind it, that means there's sugar. Could be fructose with glucose. Those are all sugar. So certainly that will be, certainly you can limit as much as sugar, honey, syrup, that would be the best. Now, certainly, if you have granola, only look for 5 to 7 gram type of sugar, 5 to 7 gram sugar serving, that would be real good. The more important is mindful eating. Like if you could eat cereal, the typical, if I eat very sweet cereal, I take half of that. Then you really minus, instead of 7 grams, now you 3.5 grams. Isn't that good? So really best is to sort of take plain oatmeal, adding your own fruits, like for example, berries into the oatmeal, honey, for example, or you choose unsweetened granola, put in your own home to make your own home. So that way you know you can control the sugar amount. Now, granola, also cereal, a lot of time you put dry fruit. So make sure aware that dry fruit has a lot of sugar. So better to actually put fresh fruit while you're eating it, so it will prevent the large amount of sugar load. Like for example, what I'm saying is now you're eating some cereal, instead of buying, you get fresh fruit in it, like all the berry, strawberry, and then use low fat milk with very limited sugar. Some of the low fat milk is 5 grams of sugar or 4 grams of sugar. So now that you become a lot more well controlled, balance of sugar diet, right? Okay, now syrup, like canned peach, pear, pineapple fruit cocktail. Wow, tell you, fruit cocktail has a lot of sugar. So many canned fruit, you really gotta look at. Maybe I have light syrup, but even with light syrup, the sugar can be high also. So heavy syrup usually 12 to 20 grams added sugar in there. So look at the label of those canned goods, because you really don't want to add that additional 20 grams, especially when your fruit cocktail. Heavy syrup is a lot of sugar in there. So, and certainly juice packed fruits, in other words, is 100% fruit, doesn't matter, but it still can be added sugar. Even don't think that fruit juice, juice is juice. Orange juice could have even a pack or bottle, but you gotta see they actually add sugar to make the juice taste even better. So those sugar content will be affect for you. So you gotta watch, make sure that don't just, oh, this is fresh drink, but not true, because really add sugar in there. Now, also there's other option. You can have canned good, which has no sugar added. Also, fruit juice, but you can, there's some that which is artificial sweetener, but nevertheless, if they're even artificial sweetener, is really not good. The reason is you take that, you get sugar craving, okay? So even a canned goods say no sugar added, you have to watch and make sure that don't let that fool you, because they will have some kind of artificial sugar in there that will make the product taste better. So the problem with that is you will just more crave for sugar, okay? And now we talk about jam, for example. Now, traditional jam will be like grapes, strawberry, apricot. Now, all that will have some kind of sugar to add it to taste good, right? 10 to 12 grams sugar per tablespoon. And sugar usually a second ingredient because of the fact that fruit will make it sweeter already. So you have to check whether you really have a high sugar content. Now, certainly there's also reduced sugar jam, and they are usually the less sugar version, and often add the sugar, including honey, fruit juice, concentrate. But they still have 4 or 6 grams. But this is actually better than the typical. You talk about you cut half already, right, per tablespoon. And then you can actually put fruit spread. Okay, some fruit spread market and now really is healthier product, but they also had to add sugar in there to make it taste good. So when you add them together, make sure the jam is not like 10 to 20 grams, basically under 10 grams. And certainly there's things like natural organic option, which is still have hidden sugar in there, but because of the fact, don't think that it's just organic, there's no sugar. It's not true, because organic, just organic way of making it or planting it. But they also can have sugar in there to make this taste good, including they put fruit juice or whatever. So make sure that the organic, you still have to look at the bottle. Is it really mean true sugar-free or low sugar? That you have to identify. Don't just believe what they have is going to go for it, okay? So the tip here, if you're working with canned fruits, preserved fruit, and jam, first of all, you have to look at the label. Are they adding sugar or no sugar adding? Or they use juice, whatever it is, you have to check the gram of sugar added into the label. If you have 2-3 grams, yeah, that's a good thing. If you have 15 to 20 grams, wow, maybe I have to watch, okay? And also for jam, you have to look at, you got to choose the jam with the fruit ingredient, not add sugar with, you have to mindful to say what kind of sugar added. Now, could it be honey? That would be good. And now you also kind of consider making own preserved fruit jam. That would be nice because you can control the amount of sugar. And then also you are using very good fruits, certainly. That will help you to lower the sugar content. Now, some of them right now in the marketplace, some of the so-called, wow, I will have no sugar as all full fruit. Now, those are good, but on the other hand, just go check whether they still say, well, I add fruit juice to make it nice. So that might be some sweetener in there. So you got to check what is the amount of sugar in there. The more importantly is the mindful, in the sense that if I put jam, do I put a lot of jam in there to make this really sweet and nice? Or you could portion it by spreading less. Then net result, the amount of sugar intake is much less. So that is important because I know all of us like to do the spread it, but on the other hand, if you do it every day, it might not be really good. Now, then on top of that, a lot of us, especially pre-diabetic, tend to eat a lot of peanut butter or other kind of almond butter, whatever. Now, traditionally, you buy popular brand like Skippy, Jeff. They always have hidden sugar. Typically have 2 tablespoons that contain about 4 to 5 grams of added sugar. Now, it's okay to continue to eat that, but use smaller amount, that will be better, okay? But if you basically, a lot of the sugar that you use, a lot of butter, peanut butter you use, which has contained chocolate, honey, cinnamon flavor, peanuts, almond butter, all that could be 5 to 8 grams of sugar. So you really have to choose. Do I use the regular butter because it's 2 to 4 grams? Or should I take the 5 to 8 grams? Certainly the smaller number, better one. Now, certainly the reduced fat nut butter. Now, the fat nut butter also can supposedly help you to lose fat. And but on the hand, with that, they're adding more sugar into it, make it more tasty, because if not, it doesn't taste good. But with that, though, although they reduce fat, but they have to consider some sugar in there, so your caloric intake will be higher, And on top of that, you're adding more sugar in your diet for something that you don't want. So just importantly, what I'm saying here is you got to understand, make sure, look at the label, how many grams of sugar you take every time. Now, also another thing, they have also nut butter with other add-in. For example, nowadays a nut butter, jelly, chocolate, honey, those are also contain added sugar. So you might end up with 10 grams per serving rather than just, 4 to 5 grams. So, you add another 10 grams or another 5 grams. That's significant, right? So when you choose nut butter labels and natural and sweetened or whatever, you have to really look how amount of sugar you have. And also because this is nut butter, you also need to check how much salt you have. Now, don't want to get a lot of salt because that will affect your blood pressure go up. You want to make sure that besides your sugar go down, amount of sugar take, but also the fat and also the amount of salt take should be lower. And you should avoid getting product that adding a lot of sweetener, nuts, or salt. You want to get low salt and low sugar. And natural butter, nut butter usually only contain like honey, agave, natural sugar. That means that it's still sugar, but it's better than other one with high salt and high sugar. So healthier nut butter can be high calorie also. So you have to mindful how much you take. So you end up, the key here is 1, objectively to look at the amount of sugar contained. 2, also the calories of the product. So 3, the amount of salt you will take. So when you add it all up together, you are actually a better choice of the product that you took. Then we talk about drinks. For example, orange juice, apple juice, grape juice, pineapple juice. Those are high sugar content. I used to love to go on an airplane, drink orange juice, apple juice, but I cut that off because really at the end of the day, that's mean for 8-ounce juice, I drank about 20 to 30 grams sugar, and you sit there, do nothing on an airplane. So that is out now. I only drink Lowsutea while on the plane. I'll set up Lowsutea, and I still got my water, and it's tasty, and lower my blood sugar all the time. Flavored water, for example. Now, because of the fact that flavored water, they say, I'll give you all kind of vitamin, but they make it tasty. So they usually add sugar sweetener to make it taste good. So many branded flavored water will be 15 to 30 grams of sugar in it. Now, sport drink is another one, which is really, although the sport drinks about replenish your electrolyte and all that, but they are very sugar because they also give you some energy. And then usually a 20-ounce of bottle contain maybe 30 to 40 grams sugar. Wow, that's terrible. So the hidden sugar in the sport drinks, those are things that you really maybe not to take, eliminate, basically. And iced tea, sweetened tea, there's a loss also is not good because 20 to 40 grams of sugar per bottle. And iced tea, it really become a not good stuff for you because that means you drank this typically, took away most of your sugar your budget, so to speak, your sugar budget a day. So when you drink coffee, mocha, latte, the key here is not to adding up a lot of sweetened milk, whipped cream. You add 30 to 50 grams of sugar per serving. So also, when you drink flavored milk, remember, chocolate milk is 20 to 30 grams of sugar per cup. That's a lot of sugar. Alcohol drink, cocktail, a lot of sugar because you add about 30 to 50 grams of sugar per drink also. Diet soda, even though it says 0 sugar. But the problem is the artificial sweetener will also contribute to your calorie, but also might not contribute to your calorie, but it also affect your desire for more sugar craving because this is a diet soda. Although you don't get the sweet, but they tell your brain, I need more sweet. And that is a major issue drinking like diet soda, 0. Yes, there's no calorie in there, but on the other hand, it does stimulate your brain to ask for more. Now, certainly other milk alternatives certainly will say, well, I can drink almond milk, salt milk, but that is still also 10 to 50 grams of sugar in there. So you need to really look at that. Well, do I want to take that? Or maybe take just natural milk with only 4 grams. So you talk about 7 to 15 versus 4 as a lot of number there that they will lower your sugar intake. Now, tonic water also have high sugar because it contains 20 or 25 grams of sugar per 12 ounce. Smoothie is a big one. Now, a lot of people don't realize smoothie gets 30 to 60 grams of sugar because you have to get that to taste good. So that's something that you really want to make sure don't get that. So the tip here is you got to look at all the drinking, the ingredient, what's kind of sugar in there. Make sure your product is natural. Try to take low sugar intake as much as you can. In other words, you don't take a lot of fruit juice and stuff like that. You got to take water or Lowsutea. Now, Lowsutea, no sugar. It's just the tea, okay? And then you basically, you have to control the amount of coffee, tea intake. Don't add sugar in there. Lowsutea had no sugar at all, so you can drink 6 to 8 cups will satisfy your liquid need, but no sugar in there. And then also look at the label. Make sure that you can plan the amount of tea you take and the food you take, the cereal you take. All those take planning to ensure that you add it up together. Is not going to be 150 grams of sugar you take, right? And you prepare a recipe, you took it home, you try to limit as much as you can, not very many processed food, and then make sure all the hidden sugar identified and not to take that. And you got to remember, all these are our self-education. You have to implement a very practical strategy to maintain a balanced diet without all the sugar in there. More important, first step, read your label. Because the label will tell you, wow, this is 5 grams. Oh, this is 15 grams. Oh, this is 40 grams. When you see that 40 grams, you know what? At the end of the day, you're not going to buy it. That will be better for you. And you will not drink it. You're not going to eat it. So that's what we need to do. As you know, Lowsutea will help you to lower blood sugar, cholesterol, and blood pressure. If you lower your 3 high blood sugar, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, you will be very healthy. You eliminate all the problem with your 3 high, the chances for you to get all the pre-diabetic diabetes complication is substantial decrease. And that's what we try to do. So today, our lecture, in conclusion, we identify all the key sugar items that you can potentially encounter and show you how to manage this, sugar content by reading the label, the important reading label to understand what is this going to help you to increase your sugar intake. And you would know if you take a lot of sugar, your blood sugar goes up. That is not going to be healthy for you. The key here is we're going to have a lot of common processed food, condiment, beverage like ketchup, and even although it's healthy yogurt, but on the hand contain a lot of sugar. So you got to use your Greek yogurt instead of regular fruit yogurt, and eliminate the fruit juice. And you want to identify all these products and not to take them. And you have to also read the label, the most important. Anything OSC is a sugar. Could be fructose, whatever the name. But more important, understand that so you can able to remove those sugar and also the gram of sugar. You don't want to add addition in that. You have to plan, you look at it, okay? And choose the food that is sugar-free or very little sugar, like 3 to 5 grams. Maintain a balanced diet and hidden sugar without eating a lot of hidden sugar. This is a good strategy. How do you plan your meal, home cooking? Net result, you may be healthier. And you eliminate all the good, big sugar intake. So today's lecture, I hope that will give you an overview. In many of these products had high sugar content. Importantly, you really plan your meal should take sugar, put food with sugar content 3 to 5 grams. That will be good. Include your milk intake, yogurt intake, take natural fruits. At the end of the day, you'll be much healthier. So today's lecture is, I'm finished now. If you need to write me question, I can answer you by Andy, A-N-D-Y, at wahfong.com, A-N-D-Y at wahfong.com. Or you can WhatsApp me, 852-679-2891, 852-679-2891. Or another one is 852-301-5644. But really good, you can send me email because a lot of people do that. And they love it. They also said this is really good to help them to better further clarify. So today my lecture is finished. And I think that I hope you enjoy this lecture. The key here is read the label. You know how much sugar you have. So when you add it all up together, so you know each day, because you're going to eat not only the drink, not the canned food, not yogurt, not the cereal, because you add up all together, you're going to get less than 150 grams. So that will be the key. So you got to keep doing that to think about all the sugar that you're going to add on in a daily diet to help you to prevent you adding unnecessary sugar, okay? Thank you very much, and thanks, Edwina, for joining us and all my friends from all over the world. I appreciate that. You take care. Have a nice weekend. Thank you again. Bye-bye.